Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a good day or night. Whatever time you're watching this, cheers. It's another day or night again. Oh yeah, I feel good. Anyways, if I were to tell you, you ever feel bored during the mass as a Catholic? So random, but it's very fascinating because a lot of people inside the church that go and attend the Catholic mass tends to be bored, and it's normal. But I really love the homily this past Sunday that the priest gave about finding yourself being bored during the mass. If you are bored during the mass, it probably means you didn't came prepared for the mass. I really I'm very fascinated by the homily that the priest gave. It was very interesting because it's true. Sometimes some of us feel like rush going to the mass beforehand, like me, for example, and some of us don't even read the readings before the gospel readings or the two readings on Sunday or maybe one reading if you go during a weekday. It's very interesting because technically before the mass we need to be prepared, and also in the spiritual form, right? Sometimes a lot of people, fortunately, during the mass take the body of Christ unaware what's going on. First of all, they have committed mortal sins beforehand, which and they're still taking the body of Christ. But in that case, they might not be fully aware of it. If they are, maybe some are aware because I can't judge, obviously, in that way. But unfortunately, a lot of people take the body of Christ unaware what's going on. And it's very sad because the Mass is technically one of the most peak human experience we could get closer to God, because literally what the Mass is, Jesus is fully alive and present in the Eucharist. All of heaven is attending the Mass. It's crazy how powerful the Mass can be. And yet again, sometimes we'll be pretending to go to sleep. Not pretending, actually going to sleep. I know I struggle with that sometimes, especially if we go underslept, or we sometimes we can't even understand the priest what he's saying through the mic. But he might have an accent. You struggle. But that's why we read beforehand, to be prepared. So being prepared for the Mass, the more we prepare, the more we get out of the Mass. So if you're gonna be in Mass and just going and you're gonna be bored, why are you even showing up being bored? Prepare. Do the best of your ability to prepare for the Mass by praying, obviously, much as we can, reading the readings before attending Mass, and obviously, if you haven't confessed, go to confession beforehand, because if you're able to receive. But even if you haven't confessed, that shouldn't stop you from going to the Mass. You could technically receive the spiritual, you can receive communion spiritually, not physically, and that's okay. Regardless, make the most out of the Mass what you can. The Mass is very beautiful. It's technically one of the most peak experience a human can be at a place. It's one of the best experience you can get closer to God. Especially when you receive communion, your body gets in union with Jesus. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful. So, just be prepared. So if you're bored, something it probably just means you need to prepare more for the Mass. No problems, just solutions.